moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. And in the driveway is a nice range, cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You'll never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, it's belief. They'll deceive with the negativity, but I just slide right by that energy. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 You got a mind, but even that could change. You could flip the gray matter like some batter in your brain. That's why I say, fake it till you make it A. And if you play that game, then you just might make a change. Rearrange all the bad to okay. Take the worst thoughts saying, turn them to a game. Take the best thoughts saying, put them on display. On repeat in your brain till you're feeling no more pain. Never slow yourself down, you can do some more. Push past all the pain and you'll find a door. Open it up and finally explore everything that you thought you could never do before. And even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 yo, go, go, go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. And in the even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 yo, go, go, go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway.
Hello, everyone, and welcome again to another exciting edition of the Sports Report Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Mr. William D. Morgan. I have a full crew with me tonight. First, let me bring on the man from Nebraska, the president of the LeBron James fan club. Bring my man Dan on. Dan, what's up?
What's up, buddy? The CEO of the LeBron James fan club. And it's like every day, it's a good day to be a Yankees fan.
He said the
like
CEO.
Every day.
I feel you, man. I feel you. Ain't no wrong with that. Ain't no wrong with that. Let me bring in my other cohort. He is the man with the baseball knowledge. Forgotten more baseball than I would ever know. Brewer Man 7-7. What's up?
What's up, man? You know who I don't want to be? The chiropractor for the Yankees. He's got to be spending so much time with Judge, helping him with all that back pain from carrying that fucking team since the All-Star break.
Them nines, baby. Them nines.
My goodness.
That's a big back. That's a big. They can all hop on.
Goodness. How you doing? How you doing this week, fellas?
Hey, I like it, Will. I get introduced first now, which is actually, I mean, that's the rightful order. I mean, it was going to happen eventually. I'm glad that we eased 7 into it, you know.
Your ego could be 10 inches bigger, and it would still be 100 inches larger than your penis.
So it's my penis is inverted and 90 inches. What's going on right now?
Yeah. Oh man.
I feel like Kylie Jenner or whatever one it is.
I mean,
you mean Bruce Jenner?
Bruce, yeah.
I mean, this is supposed to be this is supposed to be a sports show. I mean,
fish are friends, not food. Bruce.
Yeesh. All right, you guys, let's go ahead and get into the world of the MLB.
Will, did you just run the Crickets?
Yes, I did.
Yes.
Yes, I did. I ran the Crickets. Yes, I did. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get into our baseball. And then after that, we'll go into everything else on this fine sports show on this fine evening. Let's go, guys.
I want to be the best in the game, invest in my name, check no restraints, I'm obsessed with the pain, I ingest, I retain, assess and I change, possessed by the thought I'll be free one day from society's restraints.
7, go ahead and get us caught up, my friend.
That intro makes me look like I have way more street cred than I do. First of all, 7th inning stretch, as always, is sponsored by Gunslinger Soap. Handmade soaps and beard products made without all the junk to pamper your skin. You can go to their website, gunslingersoap.com, and sign up to get 15% off of your first order and always free shipping over $30. That's gunslingersoap.com. The Yankees are the hot topic. While they did win yesterday and today, they have been struggling since the All-Star break, minus Aaron Judge. And I will say, Aaron Judge is still hitting over 300 since the 1st of August. The rest of the Yankees not doing so hot. They lost 2 of the 3 against the Rays. The Rays at one point were within reach of only being 3 games back after their historic 16-plus game lead in the AL East at one point. Are these 2 wins signs of life in the Yankees, Dan? What do you think?
I would argue at this point it doesn't even matter, 7. Like, okay, who won the World Series in 1998 when Sosa and McGuire were going back, home run? Anybody know off the top of their head?
It's the Yankees.
Does anybody care?
Well,
exactly.
Here's the thing, and here's what I'm talking about, though. You have a team that was at one point being predicted to break the single season win record for a team in Major League Baseball, who is now, actually, there was some thoughts that, are they going to end up accidentally giving up the division to the Rays or the Jays? Like, there's been some struggles here. And the point is, yes, the Yankees are going to the playoffs. I'm not saying that there's a chance that they won't. They will go to the playoffs. But if you lose the momentum that you've had going into the playoffs and you end up a team that was producing the way the Yankees were, that gets a first-round exit, like, that's just unacceptable. That's like, why did you even go at that point then? You know what I mean? And that's the point that I'm making, is if they lose momentum now, this is going to kill what could have been a historic season.
For one, as a Yankees fan, I want a World Series really, really bad, but right below that is 62 for Aaron Judge. Like, it's about like right there. I'm not joking. Like, I want 62 and I want I want the World Series a little bit more, but not much. It'll change when it gets to the playoffs. I will, obviously, because it won't matter. The 62 won't matter anymore. But right now, I want the 62 as much as I want a World Series. And like I said, like McGuire, that was McGuire and Sosa's year, dude. Like, they didn't people don't think of the Yankees winning the World Series that year. They think of McGuire and Sosa going 70 and 66. Like, that's what they think of.
Right. Well, I think that season saved baseball. So, I mean, it's very prevalent in a lot of people's mind.
And also, I said on here, dude, I said on here, Stanton and Matt Carpenter were huge losses. Matt Carpenter being one of them, dude. A left-handed hitter who was that hot. Dude, he was the hottest hitter in baseball. He was the hottest hitter in baseball by far. And then now Rizzo, and Stanton is still not right. His timing, dude. He's all about timing, and his timing is horrible right now. They're like, Rizzo was that guy, like we've talked about, 7 in the middle of the lineup that takes 10 pitch at bats and like wears the other pitcher out, and they're scared of him because he just sits up there and just fouls balls off the whole time, and then he hits a homer into the right field, that short porch. And like Rizzo was a huge deal. Stanton was a huge deal. Matt Carpenter is a big deal. Like, if they can get all those guys back, plus Zach Britton's on rehab assignment right now too. That bullpen is actually doing pretty well still.
KW, what's up, bro? How you doing? Thanks for being here, man.
But that bullpen's still good. The pitching is still actually like Jameson Tyone and dude, Domingo Herman is a legitimate number 2 starter in Major League Baseball, and he's like their 4 at this point. So like their pitching is still good, and their offense is just struggling. It's timing, and then Aaron Judge might be able to just carry them for long enough, and then if they can get healthy, I understand the momentum thing, and it's going to be but I have no idea how they're going to react. And I said in the chat this week, I said it's going to be fun to watch because I have no idea how this team reacts. Honestly, I have no idea.
And I think the other piece is you guys also recently lost Benintendi, and it looks like he's actually going to need surgery on his shoulder. So after making the stretch to grab him from the Royals because he thought he was going to be another left-handed bat, which this is your 3 biggest left-handed bats that you're having injury issues with: Rizzo, Carpenter, and Benintendi. And that's killer for your lineup. Stanton's timing is absolute dog water right now. He needs to figure that out. Maybe come in, spend some extra time in the cage or something. Like, he's got to do something.
Dude, we have 2 rookies playing right now.
Mm-hmm.
2 Oswaldos. Where in the world is Oswaldo? We have two Oswaldos. We got Oswaldo Cabrera is literally where in the world is Oswaldo. He plays every position on the field, and he is fucking fantastic defensively. Switch hitting utility player. That guy's got a bright. I love Oswaldo Cabrera. And then Peraza is playing second base. That dude has no fucking idea what he's doing at the plate. Literally has no idea.
Peraza's supposed to be a shortstop, isn't he? So,
yeah.
I mean, there's a little bit that carries over there, but you are definitely changing sides in your reaction. So there's some growth there that needs to happen. But
22 years old.
He's a talented kid. And that's the thing, though, is I don't blame the Yankees for calling him up. I was actually very interested to see how he was going to do, and he looks good so far because I don't think he's a prospect that has gotten the attention that he's deserved.
Absolutely. They have 5 rookies on their active roster right now. 5. Leading the AL, leading the best division in baseball, and just holding on by and like I'm not using injuries as excuses because you can't. Like, look at
next man up.
Dude, I mean, exactly. Like, look at Houston. I mean, Houston's had a bunch of injuries. The Rays have 2 starting pitchers right now who are probably top 10 in the AL out, and they're competitive in the AL East. So like, there's no excuses. Like, we're the Yankees. All right, this is big boy time. So I mean, and Aaron Judge is showing the fuck up, and they're gonna pay him a lot of money, but
hopefully
that's down the line. Oh
Rays only 5 games back right now.
So
they were about 3. They were almost 3.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was when the Yankees took that last game of that 3-game series, had the Rays run that, they would have had it within 3. And they beat Boston today.
They beat the Rays,
Yeah, the Rays beat Boston today. It was a good game. But the Rays bullpen, yet again, coming up strong. And that's going to be one of the things that teams have to fear about the Rays in the postseason, is that bullpen for the Rays is ridiculous. Unheralded, but putting up numbers, shutting them down in the last 3 innings, which is crucial to keeping control of the game and making sure you can stay in it.
Tony, who's that guy that's got 2 first names in the Rays bullpen? Straight shut our lineup down. He throws a little bit like, it's almost like a 3/4 sidearm. He's a lefty and he's just nasty. Throws like 98. He's got it's like Robert something or something Robert, or I don't know. But like, talk about unheralded, dude. That guy looks like your accountant, and he's just out there just slinging. And yeah, that bullpen's ridiculous, and nobody knows. I don't even know any names in it. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's just their pitching's ridiculous. Like, Yandy Diaz is one of the best.
Oh, Jason Adam.
Jason Adam. There you go. 2 first names.
He's from Omaha too.
Is he? Stud.
Yeah, he's born in Omaha, Nebraska.
Stud.
Yes, very, very, very solid pitching. So here's my question to you, though. With the struggles of the Yankees, when you look at it, if they are a first round exit, and it's like, if it goes to 7 games, I could see there not being a look at Cashman or Boone as far as somebody losing their job. But if they lose in the first round and it's not pretty, does one of them have to go?
That's what it's going to be, and it's going to be Aaron Boone. He's on the hot.
Absolutely,
he's on the hot seat right now. He's on the hot seat right now. He knows it. If you watch the games, he knows it. I mean, he got thrown out yesterday. And like it was a ridiculous call. He has to just a play to be looked at, which you can't really do. But like they let his challenge go, and then he tried to he didn't have a challenge later for a clear missed call, and he got thrown out. And he's just trying to jumpstart something right now. He has no idea what's going on either. I mean, it's a lot of rookies. It's mixing things up. His lineups are weird. He leads off Judge, they win. He hits Judge cleanup, they don't get a fucking hit. It seems like, and so he's on the hot seat, and it's not really. I don't think it's his fault. I think he's a good man. I think he's a good manager. Honestly, I think they respect him, and he just is in the middle of. He's in New York, bro.
Go ahead.
I'll let you finish your point. I want to talk about something else. Go ahead, Seven.
What I was gonna say is when you look at and the reason why it's Boone over Cashman is, they just kind of a couple of things that we mentioned earlier. The Josh Carpenter, or I'm sorry, the Matt Carpenter pickup and the Josh Donaldson pickup. Okay. We were giving the Yankees a whole lot of shit in free agency in the first part of the season because it looked like they hadn't really done very much. And here we are. And Cashman has actually done very, very well with the moves that the team has made. And so because I was thinking about that for winter meetings last night. And I came to this point where it was like, if you're going to fire one of them, it has to be Boone, because Cashman is actually, at this point, Cashman is doing what he's supposed to. He built a decent team. Clearly,
he bought the groceries. Boone's got to cook the food,
and the groceries were bought, so it's the chef's fault,
go ahead.
No, I was gonna say it's just, and so yeah, it's that's why I absolutely agree with you on that. I hope for the Yankees' sake that's not what happens, but we'll see what happens.
Lastly, to answer your second question, if it's a rough first round exit at all, Aaron Boone's gone, and they're looking for some other superstar manager, right?
Even if it goes to 7,
if in the first round, yeah. If they don't get at least to an ALDS,
or wait, I think maybe the first round's 5, so whatever, just it goes to the full length.
I would say if he doesn't make it to an ALCS this year, and they're not competitive in an ALCS, I'd say he's in hot water. I'd say he should fear for his job probably. And that's not how it should be. I don't think Aaron Boone's a bad manager, but when you got to move on, you got to move on. I mean, obviously he can't get them out of a rut sometimes. And you know what I'm saying? I'm like, that's kind of his job at that point. So if he can't get them out of a rut and they have this talented roster, even with the injuries, you got to move on and find somebody who can motivate these guys, especially if they re-sign Judge. And it'll have a lot to what Judge says, to Cashman about it, or the guys who make the decisions, Hal Steinbrenner and those guys. It'll have a lot about what Judge thinks too. So
yeah.
Well, we are coming down the home stretch, and we have some close divisions. We have the AL Central, Cleveland, Minnesota, even Chicago is still being talked about. You head over there to the NL East. Damn Mets. That division is closely contested. So we got some nice races going down the home stretch.
It's the next month of baseball. They always talk about the fact that this is the time of year when baseball ratings start to increase in your markets where the teams are, have postseason aspirations, because this is when baseball really starts to matter. And in truth, they all do, because if you miss it by one game, guess what? You can go back to every single one of those losses from April through to the end of the season, and that was one game.
Could have been game 2. Gotta be focused all the time.
There's and so it definitely it all matters, but this is when this is when baseball matters. This last month of the season, there's going to be some very, very contested races, because you have the Guardians and the Twins are only separated by half a game, and the White Sox are only a game and a half behind the Guardians. So there's a lot there. And the
Royals are 26 and a half back. I'm just kidding. It's pretty close.
14 and a half.
Those fountains are sure pretty though. To quote Aaron Boone though, for real, like in the first half of the season, the Yankees and like any other team, like you were talking about, like the last game could be go back to April. You're making deposits at that point. Like the Yankees in the first half were making deposits, and now they're having to make withdrawals. So it's gonna even out,
Yep.
and that's I love that quote from him. But like they were making deposits, now they're having to make withdrawals, and then hopefully in the playoffs you can make more deposits. You know, that's what it comes down to.
Oh,
No,
for
Hey,
sure.
by the way, Will, Mets fans are like Whitesnake. They just wish it was 1985 again. They just
I mean, yeah, that's pretty much that's pretty much how it is, man. That's pretty much how it is, bro. I mean, one game lead, one game, lost our last two. Come on, man.
It's, you know, they're leading longer than they normally do. So this is still an improvement for the Mets. They're still a playoff team. I mean, you know, they're going to the postseason, whether it's as a wild card or
Division
winning
leader.
the NL East. But
Yeah.
you know, maybe this is, you know, kind of like with the Yankees, they're making withdrawals because right now, when you look at it, they are the Mets are still the second best team in baseball.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, third best. Sorry, third best because
Third best.
it's Dodgers, Astros, and then Mets. So it just shows the competitiveness and how good the Braves are because they're staying in that race despite the fact that their competition is right now the third best team in baseball.
When clearly the Dodgers are the best team. I mean, the Dodgers are the best team in baseball right now, I think. I don't think there's any.
The Dodgers are first, Astros are second, and then Mets are third.
But I'm saying, like, just like take record out of it. I think that clearly the Dodgers right now are the best.
Oh, absolutely.
They're healthier. They're obviously we talked about how ridiculous that fucking roster is. Like it just got more ridiculous. Yeah, it just got more ridiculous. I mean, and Freeman and Betts now are just playing out of their fucking minds.
Mm-hmm.
It's Freddie Freeman and Mookie Betts are two players that you can count on in the playoffs. Ask the Boston Red Sox. They will tell you. One of the reasons why Mookie is still a legend in Boston and why Red Sox front office is criticized for letting him go is because Mookie Betts is a beast in the playoffs.
Dog.
Absolute dog. And Freddie Freeman is playing angry now.
Dog.
Freddie Freeman is playing angry. So this is going to make it that much more for him. Because right now we're looking at a potential where he's facing his team in the postseason, his former team in the postseason. That's probably going to happen at some point.
I heard that Freddie Freeman smiles at pitchers to blind them before they throw pitches.
He's got such a white.
Have you seen those chiclets? Those are fake. They have to be fake, right?
No, he just brushes his teeth with bleach.
God, it's got to be like he just gargles with lime juice or something. Like it's got to be, dude. Those things are fucking ridiculous, and they're so straight and like huge. Like, yeah, I don't know. It's weird.
I don't know. I could see there being some work done to make all that happen, but I mean, when you got Freddie Freeman money, it's okay. You can make sure your teeth are straight. You probably should.
Absolutely, good for him. You know,
probably should. I mean,
even though he doesn't have to be good looking to get chicks. Might as well, you know.
Damn.
But yeah, and then there was one other.
Free Fernando.
Oh, Arizona. One last thing I want to talk about. Arizona Diamondbacks pitcher Zach Gallen threw his record 6th consecutive scoreless start.
MLB record?
That I think that's a D-backs record.
Okay.
How
many innings?
Ties major league record with 6 consecutive scoreless start.
7 plus or something like
that. His scoreless inning streak is 41 1/3 right now.
Whew. That's fucking.
So his next start, he will break the record if he goes the first inning scoreless.
He's a big righty, right?
Yeah. Hell of an arm too. Great cannon. You know, the D-backs are going to probably use him for another year, and then they'll trade him for some good future draft picks because they don't want to have actual talent on their team. That's against their ownership's motto. They have to pay established talent, and Ken Kendrick, he doesn't like paying players.
Make sure you keep Ketel Marte though, because that's really working out for you.
Yeah.
Ketel Marte,
he's the Whit Merrifield of the Diamondbacks.
Shake Lamb.
Ridiculous.
Shake Lamb. Grinky.
All right, guys. Seven, thank you for everything. We appreciate that, bro. Dan, you got any NBA news you want to get into?
Oh yeah, Spida. I want to get to that Spida trade.
Oh
Lord. Yeah, I wish dude was here. Cleveland fan.
Yeah. All right, let's go ahead and get into the hardwood. Let's go ahead and get into the hardwood, guys. Let's go.
Donovan the Spider Mitchell, traded to the Cleveland Cavs.
And the thing I find so interesting about that trade is the fact that they still kept their two best players and picked up Mitchell.
Yeah,
so I thought that was great.
They gave up quite a bit, but it was almost like one of those Major League Baseball trades in the middle of the year where you're like, they got who for what? Because because obviously like the Utah Jazz are in full rebuild mode now. They're going to be the worst. They're going to be one of the worst teams in the NBA. That's clear. They're going to be an automatic W for most teams.
Then Sacramento and Sacramento going to go at it for worst team.
Sacramento's just there every year at this point. They need to Sacramento needs to move to Seattle is what needs to happen.
They do. I agree. They need a team back home.
Again. The Supersonics again. That city would be behind that. And, because obviously Sacramento's not. I don't even think people that live in Sacramento like tell people they live in Sacramento. They tell people they're like we live in Fresno because it's better.
Fresno, man.
Fresno. Temecula, shit like that. But yeah, they gave up a haul. Wild. It was. But I mean, like I said, like you didn't really like you gave up potential, which like if you're just trading for potential all the time, I mean, yes, you could be the Oklahoma City Thunder and kind of strike some gold with a couple of them, but
my issue is the fact that you're dealing with Danny Ainge, and when you're dealing with Danny Ainge, he'll get all these draft picks, but then he won't do nothing with them.
He learned that from when he played for the Suns.
Yeah, he was like, we should not draft good players.
Draft pick? What's that?
We should always be reaching. There should always be. We should always call it a reach. That's a reach.
Had all those picks with Boston and didn't really do anything with them. That's the thing that kills me. At least the Thunder have a plan. When they have draft picks, they have a plan. They have a plan in place. They know which direction they want to go. Whether it be right or wrong, at least they have a direction with their picks. Danny Ainge, I got this many picks. I'm gonna hold on to all of them.
With what teams got in return for Mitchell and for Rudy Gobert, you would think that they were Shaq and fucking Kobe.
Yep.
Like for real. That's what teams got in return for the. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what the Utah Jazz got in return. Kind of like they just got crazy amounts of shit. And like it was like I like Donovan Mitchell way more than I like Rudy Gobert. I think that Donovan Mitchell trade was worth it for the Cavs because they're trying to win right now. Like the Cavs are going to be competitive in the East next year, and that's awesome for them. And they want another scorer like that.
That's what I was going to ask you: is where you think this puts the Cavs in the East next year with picking up Mitchell?
They're still the Cleveland Cavs, bro, without LeBron. So it's like, I mean, honestly, like they had like.
This might with Lonzo being out right now and not guaranteed a return until possibly after the All-Star break. They might be ahead of Chicago in the East, just for the simple fact that you got DeRozan, that's fine, but you got Donovan, and the two players they kept might put them over the hump. They might be the fourth best team in the East, third, fourth?
Well, I think this definitively puts the Cavs above the Bulls. Can we just mention real quick again? You are incredibly high on Lonzo Ball, and I don't know where you're getting this from.
It's not so much that I'm high on him. It's just the fact that they need Lonzo because the team doesn't have a good point guard after him. I mean, you got old boy from North Carolina, but come on, you got Kobe White, but.
He's almost like a 2.
Yeah,
he's almost
like a 2 to the point.
And
Yeah,
so his impact is noticeable. And it's not that he's a good player. It's just that with how the Bulls use him and his impact on that team, his absence is going to be noticeable.
I think Lonzo is literally like an average. I think he's the epitome of an average NBA player. But I think that since he runs the point and he runs it average, that's better than that's better than Russ
Westbrook. Bulls got better than what the Bulls have right now or what the Bulls had before.
Right. Like they're like, what's the alternative? That was what we were talking
about. Celtics could use an average point guard.
And exactly. So like somebody like he does a good job facilitating within, and it's almost like his averageness is like a skill.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because he's not almost like he's a backup quarterback. Like you don't want your backup quarterbacks to be famous. Like that's good for them. That's
he's
good
not
for them.
Flashy. He's not flashy by any means, and he's not the most athletic. But he does have good court vision. He can shoot a little bit, maybe 35% from three. He can shoot a little bit, got some experience out there. So it's gonna be felt. And if you don't get him back to after the All-Star break, that's gonna hurt.
His game knowledge is one of his biggest advantages because yes, he is a child of his father, but he is.
I don't know what you're talking about, Tony. I don't know what you're talking about. I would beat him every time. Every time.
His dad did teach him about the game.
Yes, from a very young age.
And from a very young age. And so
never lost.
Never
lost. LeVar's not dumb, dude. LeVar's not
That's
dumb.
a resource. That's a resource that he has that the Bulls are going to need to rely on, especially in that second half as competition really heats up.
And and you need him because Zach LaVine is not the smartest basketball player out there at all. We need Lonzo for that. And right now, you're looking at a team that's without Lonzo probably gonna be sixth. There'll still be a playoff team, but it won't be the same.
I think depending on how long it takes for him to come back, they could be a play-in team.
Yeah, could be.
It's all going to depend on when he can get back because I think that makes a difference. Because yes, he may only make a swing of we'll say 10 points a game difference, but that's going to be the difference for them. You're going to see the Bulls in a lot of close games that they're not going to be able to get over the hump without it.
You need that 10 points. You need that 11 points per game that you get, and you need those assists most of all. Yeah. And with him not being out there to dish those, I don't know what they do.
And DeMar DeRozan's got a lot of like Jamal Crawford in his game too, where it's like he just is like he's streaky, it's exploding for points, but at the same time, like there's almost something there that like mentality wise, because he just got like, dude, LeBron James ruined that man emotionally. LeBron James.
Oh, with Toronto. Yeah.
Toronto emotionally. Seriously, he did.
Yeah.
Like I think that DeMar DeRozan just thinks he's gonna lose now because he thinks that every game is like an Eastern Conference Finals game against LeBron, and it's like, fuck, I just can't do it.
How did Shannon say it 7? The baby dinosaurs. Oh, LeBron, he just dominates the baby dinosaurs. Every time he go out there, he dominates the baby dinosaurs. Look,
he owns Toronto.
He owns Toronto. He could buy Toronto right now. He could be the president, the man. He can be it all up there.
He's part owner of that team. They were clearly just better teams, and like he just psychologically fucked them over.
Demolished them. Even on that Cleveland roster with none but him, Kyrie, and Kevin Love, he was still up there just putting them to shame.
Dude, nobody would be physical with him. Was the issue? Like nobody wanted to get in his way, and you have to. If you're going to defend LeBron James, somebody needs to be getting in his way. Like somebody needs to be trying to fight him.
Siakam didn't want nothing to do with him. Siakam.
No, they don't want no part of that. Like they made business decisions when that dude's coming in. They're like,
here you go. Here's the lane right here. You can have it. Here you go. You got the ball in the basket right there.
I don't want to be on that 8-year-old's fucking wall on that post.
No.
Business decisions. Like they were just making.
That's what made me just lose all respect for Kyle Lowry. This made me lose all respect for Kyle Lowry.
No balls.
None. Literally none.
The fact that he comes into fucking camp every year 30 pounds overweight didn't make you lose respect for him. God, that dude always just looks like he always just looks like 130 pounds of chewed bubble gum just fucking floating around.
They want to call Leonard Fournette fat. Oh my gosh, when you need to see Kyle Lowry doing all season, boy. Woo. Woo!
He likes the Toronto food. What is it? French cuisine up there. He likes that.
Yeah,
He
a lot of
Butterball.
It's you'll get some rural stuff because there's a lot more rural areas up there, but it's, I mean, a lot of French cuisine.
Lowry and Vegeta, the king.
Kyle
Lowry.
Lowry.
Lowry and Vegeta.
You like a pit bull, Kyle? That little pink thing hanging out.
Lowry and Vegeta, the king of L's. That's what they are, the king of L's.
Who?
Like Lowry and Vegeta from Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super, the king of L's. Name what that man got one win to his record. He beat Topo, and that was it. He ain't beat nobody else. He got one win. He been in Dragon Ball Z forever. One win.
Man,
one win. King of L's.
I like watching Dragon Ball Z, but Dragon Ball Z Abridged is sorry, it's so much better. Bro, I will literally, there's been nights where I was having anxiety issues. I just sparked a bowl and started a playlist of Dragon Ball Z Abridged.
There you go.
And by the end of the 5 or 6 episodes that I watched, I forgot why I was in anxiety.
You'd be dying laughing and forget what was wrong with you. Yep.
Family Guy's definitely my show for that.
Yep.
Family Guys, that's my main one. But DBZ Abridged, if you go onto YouTube and just roll through those episodes.
Go there. Oh, Brandon Knight, more of a I remember Brandon Knight. I remember Brandon Knight.
Dude, Israel, I used to collect Brandon Knight cards, thinking that he was
remember
him.
Like
stud and shit. Oh god, that's disappointing. Him and Eddie Jones. Remember Eddie Jones from the Lakers?
Yep, I remember Eddie.
Eddie Jones was like so flashy, and everyone was like, "Oh, Eddie Jones is gonna be good." That dude was garbage.
Yeah.
Garbage.
Absolute dog.
Sorry, Eddie Jones. If you want to be on the show still, you're still our friend.
Just called a man garbage. They ain't gonna invite him to the show.
Eddie,
you're garbage, but we love for you to come on to the show.
Come talk to me, and we'll talk about how you're not garbage.
You're garbage.
You're not real garbage.
Love for you to come
in the NBA.
I mean, you can come and tell us how garbage you are. You know,
Man,
give us your life story. Yes, you can.
All we're gonna get people on the show is we're gonna piss them off enough that they have to come on and talk to us. That's basically the strategy at this point. It's not gonna work any other way.
Nope.
Fuck you, Eddie Jones.
I'll give Eddie Jones one piece. His first 2 years, he was good. His first 2 years. That's it. He won't go past that.
I wanted to see what you guys thought. Did you guys see Kyrie's appearance on the shop?
Ooh, no.
I didn't see that.
So LeBron wasn't there, first of all.
That don't shock me.
Doesn't show up to his own show.
that don't shock
me. Which
I
thought was interesting. He and the what is LeBron's wife's name? Shannon?
Savannah.
You know they ain't
he and Savannah were he and Savannah were on a trip for her birthday, and he wasn't there. But Kyrie came on and said that I did some things, and I said some things, and you know, crazy. Like he didn't take ownership, but he said he did some fucked up shit, and it's just like, all right, this confirms that we're gonna see what, and I hate to give him credit, Skip Bayless said. You're going to see next year KD, Kyrie, and Ben Simmons. And that is going to be one of the nastiest rosters in the East. If they can all get going. Like
you
that,
right.
It's going to be stupid. Like
you might be right because the thing, Ben ain't got to shoot on that team.
Play defense.
He's your number 3.
He's your number 3 in terms of go-to. But all I gotta do, bring the ball up, play defense, rebound. That's it. He ain't gotta shoot.
No, and that's the thing, and that's why I thought, because initially I was kind of a little more. I know that I was given the net shit for picking him up, which I think it was still a good. I think it was good for him to get out of Philly because I don't think that was ever going to work because the organization bailed on him when they did.
Oh yeah,
but him not being in a place where he's the focal point, especially now that he's had some time, things have settled down. He comes back out there and he's now the 3. And he's with a bunch of guys that know better than to throw a teammate under the bus.
Yep.
I think because here's the thing. Even with all the issues that they had in Brooklyn last year, not once did anybody but upper management say anything about Kyrie's choice. Or, when Nash acknowledged it, just said he's not with the team right now. And we've got to go with the guys that are going to be able to be here every day. That was it. That was it.
Yep.
That's how you handle that situation.
Yep.
And the Phillies fucked it up. I'm not saying that Ben Simmons had a great game and they were out of bounds. Yeah, he had some problems. Clearly they handled it. Or the Sixers handled it wrong. But clearly there was a better way. There was a better way to handle it than what they did.
Right.
And that's why they lost Ben Simmons. But now you put him in this role with the Nets and you get Kyrie and KD to gel for one more year.
That team's going to score a lot of fucking points.
A lot of points.
Israel, he's talking about The Shop. It's LeBron James' show on HBO, by the way.
Won't be.
Israel said he was on what show? And I just answering the question.
Won't be any defense played on the defensive side of the basketball, but that team's going to outscore almost everybody.
Absolutely
almost
not.
Everybody.
Like you got Patty Mills and Seth Curry.
Yep.
Who might as well be the same fucking player.
Hell yeah.
You got Joe Harris.
Mm-hmm.
Just shooters galore.
Yep.
And KD and Kyrie. And it's like they're just going to score a fuck ton of points. And then when they get to the playoffs, it's just going to matter like how much they care at that particular time. Like how perturbed is Kevin Durant about still being on the Nets that he might actually try and win a series is basically what it's going to come down to.
And I think too, just like I say, perfect for Ben Simmons. He doesn't have to shoot. He can bring the ball up, rebound, play defense. He was on the All NBA first team a couple years ago. So,
he's a great defender. Yeah,
great defender.
Fucking 6'10" point guard.
Yeah, great defender.
Can defend the 1 to the 4. I mean, he's versatile.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what people don't get about. Like they're like, oh, he's a point guard, offensive. I'm like, no, bro. He runs the fast break and he plays fucking fantastic defense, and that's good because there is not another defender on that freaking team. Kevin Durant can be a good defender. He just sometimes doesn't give a shit. Like I get it.
No, he doesn't.
I get it. You're putting a lot of your effort into the offensive side of the ball. Like, I mean, but that's how the NBA's turned at this point. Like that's why they say like they don't play defense in the NBA. Come on, guys. Come on. They play defense. It's just it's a little more geared towards scoring more points.
I think you see more defense during the playoffs than you do during the regular season. Yeah,
Absolutely.
I don't think you really see that much during the regular season, but the playoff time when the rubber got to hit the road, they'll play defense.
Everybody D's up.
Yeah, everybody a D up at that point, but I don't think you see a lot of defense during the regular season because hell.
That's the interesting part. Exactly. And that's the interesting part, Will, is like you actually see guys' flaws. And I'm gonna call out a guy, Chris Paul. You really see Chris Paul's defensive flaws in the playoffs and not in the regular season. Like the dude like leads the NBA and fucking steals a lot or used to in his prime. And then he gets to the playoffs and they're like, dude, that dude's a fucking like what the dude call him? A cone?
A cone.
Yeah. Call him a cone.
Because he can't physically match up with guys. He's 6'3". Like they know that he's not really concentrating on defense. That they know he wants to get on the break, and it's just like it gets accentuated in the playoffs.
For sure,
it does.
For sure.
No, you're right. You're right.
So
absolutely right.
Cam Thomas is another guy on that Brooklyn roster that's actually. Cam Thomas came out a couple times last year and scored 30 points because they were just getting beat. Cam Thomas playing garbage minutes and just scoring, hitting fadeaways and shit. He's talented, so they have a talented roster.
They're going to score a lot of points, man. So it's going to be interesting to see. All right, let's go ahead. And I got a lot to say coming up on this edition of the Huddle. Let's get to it. I'm going to start with that FSU LSU game from the other night. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you who my dick of the week is right now. The head coach from FSU. You are an idiot. You are stupid. All you had to do, kneel, timeout, field goal, game is done. You are on the goal line. And you run a damn halfback sweep. And then then he fumbles the football. He fumbles it. You give it right back. Your defense can't hold. They go down and they score. And the only reason why you lost that game, you won the game, block extra point.
They blocked 2 in that game.
Blocked 2 of them in that game. Mm-hmm.
LSU's special teams is just god awful. Their coach looks like Rex Ryan after every time he gets kicked out of another McDonald's for sexually harassing the female employees.
Sexual harassment.
Are you talking about
if Mike man, it's Novel, man, if he would have lost that game, I would have went down there and fired him.
Oh, Brian Kelly? You're talking about Brian Kelly. Yeah. Brian Kelly looks like a Catholic priest, so we'll leave it at that.
But the thing about it though, he's gonna learn some lessons because now he sees that SEC that's different down there. That's different. The SEC is different.
My first clue that Brian Kelly was going to absolutely tank an LSU happened not long after it was announced he was going to be head coach. And it was a video. He was down at a basketball game, an LSU basketball game, and tried using a fake Cajun accent.
Oh my gosh, man!
That's what I was like. You've got to be kidding me! This is going to be a train wreck. Oh my god, I love it.
Jim Rome went absolutely bonkers on Brian Kelly after that, dude. Like Jim Rome is so fucking funny. If Jim Rome wants to fucking roast you, dude, he'll do it for an entire fucking show. He doesn't even care. All he does is talk to himself, and he was just roasting Brian Kelly for like half an hour.
It was great.
He just kept playing sound clips.
And you have to excuse my language, so I'll just do this. Mike Nova, if you would have lost that game, you are no good.
Yeah.
That's what you are. That's what you are. You would have lost that game. I went down there and fired you myself. That was stupid. And in the press conference, we play for wins around here. We play for wins around. Get the freaking field goal. You would have won the freaking game.
Bush League decision. Seriously.
Stupid.
It's and this is more about LSU losing than FSU winning. That was the result of the game. Because yes, one team has to win, one team has to lose. But when you look at the actual story of the game, was it more that Team A won or that Team B lost? And this was more about what LSU didn't do than what Florida State did do. Honestly.
It makes me want to like superimpose the LSU running back's face over the guy in Friday Night Lights where he comes in. He's like, "What happened to my lamp?" He's like, I dropped it." He's like, "Can't hold on to the lamp. Can't hold on to the football." And he just like starts duct taping the ball around his hands and just starts punching it out. Like that's what I.
Yeah, you gotta do. You gotta do with the FSU guy because when he fumbled that football, come on, really, bro, really.
Can't hold on to the football.
Can't hold on to the lamp, man. Can't hold on to the lamp, man. Can't hold on to the lamp. Really, punch it out. Punch it out. My gosh, man. Got a game going on right now. As a matter of fact, I believe over on ESPN, the Clemson Tigers are up on the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets 24-10. Georgia Tech, once again, fielding a terrible team.
Georgia Tech actually like amazes me. Dude, do you know Demarius Thomas and Calvin fucking Megatron Johnson were on the same Georgia Tech roster, and the team ran the triple fucking option. I'm going to say that again. They ran the ball 75 to 80% of their plays for an entire year with Demarius Thomas and Megatron as wide receivers.
Yep.
What in the fuck is going on?
What are they doing?
It's almost like it's almost like that guy.
I agree with you, KW.
Texas Tech that had Patrick Mahomes as his quarterback and went 10-14 in 2 seasons.
Damn.
You know who that is?
Yes,
that's the boy. That's the boy from Arizona.
Crackhead Backstreet Boy, Cliff Kingsbury.
The goddamn best looking guy. The best looking guy in Arizona, baby. That he just loses a game he shouldn't. And he just walks in and they're just like, God damn it, we can't be mad at him. God, look at that jawline.
He said Crackberry. Oh my gosh. But yeah, man, if Norfolk would have lost that, if FSU would have lost that game, I would have been down there and fired them a damn self. That's just ridiculous. That's just stupid.
they wanted Coach Prime, but Coach Prime isn't going to leave an HBCU anytime soon. He's on a mission.
Not the way they got those boys playing right now.
Jackson looks fucking ridiculous.
They do. We'll see what FSU can do next week. They got Louisville, and then we got Wake Forest coming down to Tallahassee. Wake Forest right now, I think he's ranked 22nd. So we'll see what they do in the next couple of weeks.
Dude, Dion's on that Scott Frost plan though at this point, because I mean, obviously Scott Frost down there, Central Florida, goes 14-0. But I mean, that's a cupcake schedule, and they were just more talented than everybody that they played on that schedule. And KW, what the fuck are you talking about? Alabama easy schedule? They always schedule easy games at the beginning, and then they play the SEC, the best college football. That's the best college football in the world, and it probably always will be. Like that's the place. The Big Ten is still a couple of levels underneath that amount of talent right now. Like
Alabama, Big 12,
the Big 12, actually the Big 8 again, the Big 8, the Big 7, the Big 7 is just going to turn into an archipelago of fucking college football teams. Like they're just going to be like trying to get away from each other. Like nobody wants to play in the Big 7 anymore. Like let's join fucking the Pac-24 or whatever the fuck it is now.
Couple other things we got going on real quick, and I'm gonna go over to the NFL side of things. We got the games coming up for real this week. Yes, so happy for that. I believe we start with Bills Rams. But to go ahead and get a few other things out of the way, the Pittsburgh Steelers have named Mitchell Trubisky their number one quarterback on their unofficial depth chart. You know, Mitchell Trubisky was going to be the number one guy. Kenny Pickett ain't ready.
Never a question about that.
Kenny Pickett's not quite yet ready. I'm the first person to say it. I want to see what Kenny Pickett does, though. I want to see what he does.
Kenny Pickett's a dog, bro.
I think so.
He's got some potential.
I think so. I really think so. I want to see what he can do because that Pittsburgh offense is going to be rolling.
He made a throw in that third quarter of that second preseason game that wasn't that flashy. It's not going to be like put in a bunch of highlight reels, but he stepped up in the pocket. Yep. He eluded pressure, took a hit to his chest, threw it down the middle, led a tight end right into the open space, and you're like, okay, that's what dudes do that are good. Like that's what plays they make.
As kind of a wild thing, if Trubisky has a resurgence, which is what Pittsburgh is betting on with starting him, is they think that he's the better option. If he actually is going to produce and they're going to keep with him into next season, they might be able to get a decent return sending him somewhere like to Seattle or to even the Giants, because the Giants are still sitting on Daniel Jones to at least give them an upgrade and get some return for him.
And I'm glad you brought that up because like good point, because Daniel Jones has yet to be extended or offered a new contract. So this is going to be the last year for him.
Daniel Jones is destined to be the guy who ran almost the fastest quarterback time right down the middle of the field and tripped himself on the 15-yard line.
Y'all saw the meme for that? They got Booker T get a man to ass kick on the meme.
Yeah. Like, dude, like he was just – and he was running fast. He was going fast, like running back fast.
Mark Sanchez butt fumble level.
It is.
It legitimately is, and I feel bad for the kid, but – if somebody signs him after his contract's over with the Giants, because they're not going to use a tag on him and they're not going to offer him a contract. So you're going to see him probably end up as a backup somewhere. If he's lucky, maybe he ends up in the XFL trying to earn his name again.
And then let's hope he can analyze like we can.
That man might be the next Rex Grossman.
He might be the next Mark Sanchez.
He might be. He might be for real.
Not as good looking. Have you seen Mark Sanchez?
Not good looking, but yeah. He might be.
Talk about a jawline. He's like the Latino Cliff Kingsbury. He is a striking man.
Without the crack.
Without the crack, yes.
Without the crack, yes.
Next week on Sports Report, striking men in sports.
The Cowboys made a signing. They signed 40-year-old All-Pro Jason Peters from the Philadelphia Eagles to help bolster that line. I don't know, man.
They didn't have a choice.
They were caught in in a corner with that. They really were.
Los Angeles Rams won the Super Bowl last year with a 38-year-old starting left tackle.
That's true.
It's and the injury issues and the problems they've had on the line. Dallas has to do something because you've got to get, you've got to be able to give Dak time to throw to CD, because you're not going, as much as Jerry wants to say that it's going to be all about Zeke this year. Well, enough times of going 3 and out for your first 4 possessions because you're trying to feed Zeke every other play. You're not going to be able to do anything because there's not going to be a seam on that side. And so they're just going to keep struggling. And they have they actually have decent potential with their wide receiving core.
Yep.
I think a lot of it's going to come down to how they use them, especially CeeDee Lamb. And they're going to have to rely on their defense to shut them down because they're going to do a lot more punting than scoring touchdowns. But if you get that side set so that Dak has an extra second and a half to throw, maybe we see the Cowboys go 10-7 this year.
I'm concerned about Trayvon Diggs. I am very, very concerned. I get it. He plays sort of kind of loosey-goosey anyway, but from what you saw him in training camp, I don't know.
You mean fast Eli Apple? That dude's quick as fuck and still gets burned.
It's not. Well, yeah.
I hate that. Burnt toast.
He's either getting the pick or he's getting roasted. And that's exactly what it is. There is no in between. And for good guys in the secondary, it can't be one or the other. You've got to be able to just have that presence. And he does not have that presence. Nope. The anchor for that Cowboys defense is, as Skip calls him, 11 from heaven, Micah
Parsons.
That's the anchor of that defense.
Trayvon Diggs can figure it out, though, because, that's how Jalen Ramsey played at the beginning of his career, if you remember. Jalen Ramsey was feast or famine, and you could tell in college too. He was ridiculously talented.
Played like that in college
because you can get away with that in college.
Yeah,
you can, and he was just so ridiculously talented that he thought he could do it in the NFL. And I think that he figured out. He was like, no. He's like, I gotta play. He's like, I gotta play both. He's like, I gotta be able to jump routes still, but I gotta pick my spots. I can't just be doing it every play because dudes, these guys are gonna fucking roast you if you start. Like they're gonna use your athleticism against you.
Yep.
Like these coaches are fucking smart, and the quarterbacks are fucking smart.
Okay.
And that's why I said he is a faster Eli Apple, because that dude has some quickness. And so I'm not going to say that he's not getting burnt because he can't keep up. He can keep up. He's just got decision-making problems that are causing him to give up more touchdowns than interceptions. And that's a problem. Then Richard
KW. Cracker. Yeah.
And with the Cowboys, Zeke is just coming in there fucking Kyle Lowry style, just fucking Lowry. Like just
Kyle Lowry style.
I feel like if you wanted to embody Zeke's off season in one picture, it would just be him eating a barbecued rib, just off the bone. He's just down there fucking he don't give a fuck, bro.
He does not give a fuck.
He doesn't give a fuck. He's so rich and he doesn't give a fuck about football anymore. Zeke stopped caring about football when he's in college.
You seen this man in fantasy go in round 8, round 9, round 10, like a number 3 running back from what he was before. That's a shame.
He's not even their one anymore.
No.
Well,
they should
according to Jerry Jones, he is.
They should give it.
He starts the game
right,
and then he quickly gives way to
Tony Pollard.
Pollard. So Tony Pollard's the starting running back. It's just Zeke's there for appearances to make it look like Jerry didn't make a stupid fucking
decision.
Give
you 50 yards a game. That's all he's been doing. Starting 50 yards.
2.7 yards to carry Zeke.
Yep, that's it. That's it. Out there looking like an Ewok. All right. Anyway, I want to ask you guys. Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens. Should that man be the next man up to get a huge contract?
Okay, there's 2 answers to this.
Should he be?
Is he going to be? Yes. Should he be? No. But guess what? He's smart. He may be he may have some problems when it comes to his play, but he's smart enough that he's not going to take less than $230 million guaranteed.
Shouldn't.
There is no way in hell the Ravens are going to get away with guaranteeing him less money than Deshaun Watson. It's not going to happen. So if the Ravens want to keep him, because somebody will give him that. You can't tell me if Pete Carroll saw Lamar Jackson going onto the free market that he wouldn't punt Geno Smith and Drew Lock out of that locker room.
Oh, it's more than a punt.
Urban Meyer was working
It's
with
more than a
special
punt.
fucking teams.
It's
Like,
more
dude,
than a punt.
Gone. They would give him $231.5 million guaranteed and not even flinch.
Yep.
Would not even hesitate.
Yep.
Three picks and fucking three undisclosed picks and whatever the fuck the Ravens want. Whatever. Bobby Wagner. Throw in Bobby Wagner. Fucking Robert Turbin. Fucking Geno Smith. Fucking half the line. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
Well,
He's the
But if they don't sign him and he walks as a free agent,
don't have to. You can just pay him. I agree with you.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He's going to hold out for, if he doesn't get his 230, they were talking about it on Undisputed this morning. If he doesn't get 231.5 guaranteed at a minimum on his next deal, he will walk and he will get it from somebody else.
And see,
should he get it? No, but will he? Absolutely.
And they'll be talking about something. He could do what a lot of these newer players are doing too. It's called holding, not a hold out, but a hold in. He'll show the camp. He just won't do nothing.
Right.
So,
could you imagine those of us in regular day jobs getting to do that? I'm coming to work, but I'm not going to do a fucking thing until you give me a pay raise.
You still got to pay your boy.
I've done it at several jobs. I've absolutely done that at several jobs. Just come in there and just complain the whole fucking time you're there. Just be like, I don't get fucking paid enough to do this. Just walk around and don't do anything. Absolutely. And hey, here's my sorry, Will. One last thing on Lamar Jackson. When he gets that money, I'm going to call it right now. When they're going to get Baltimore's going to give him that money, and then in 2 years he's not going to be in Baltimore anymore. They're going to give him money and they're going to move off of him and they're going to try and get rid of the contract because they have to save face at this point. Because I think if you would actually have a serious drunken conversation with the Ravens front office, they would tell you that they don't want to keep Lamar Jackson long term, but they're going to have to for appearances. I think it's. Does that make sense?
I believe that.
I think they have and that's the thing is when you look at the Ravens front office, they're not bad at their jobs. They're just limited from what they can do, especially because they are making moves right now, expecting to have to take on that big ass contract and the cap hit that they're going to have from Lamar Jackson. So what you're going to end up seeing is, I think you're exactly right. They're going to give him 231.5, and then they're going to dangle his ass out there quietly before any noise gets made. And somebody like the Panthers, the Seahawks, the Giants,
quarterback needy team,
a team that is desperate for a quarterback so they can actually stabilize their team.
Yes,
because they haven't been competitive, and that's why I think the Seahawks. Maybe depending on how Jameis does, maybe the Saints throw their hat in the ring on that one too. But somebody will pick up that contract and give up those picks. Absolutely.
Right.
And I'm watching this, and I'm watching this for another reason. I mean, Russell took money. He left money on the table because of his age. That's fine. Russell Wilson's going to be all right. He left money on the table because he wants to give them cap move. But the thing that I'm looking at, you look at this deal coming, you got Burrow and Herbert coming up. And Burrow and Herbert, particularly Burrow being a quarterback that was in the Super Bowl, he going to command that 50, 51, 52 million. He going to command all that.
Here's what I think is going to happen with that. Herbert is going to demand it because of the Chargers organization and the absolute dog shit decisions that they make. And here's the thing. Herbert deserves it. Yeah. Sorry, Herbert deserves it.
I agree.
Burrow deserves $50 million a year. Don't get me wrong. I think that kid should get paid. But I think Burrow seems like the kind of guy that's going to be one of those where he's going to go more of the Tom Brady route. Give me $25 million a year and dump the rest of that into my running backs and receiving core so that we can get back to the Super Bowl. And line. Dude, 9 sacks in one game is fucking ridiculous. Yep. I think that he has that in and of itself, he has incentive to take a little less. He doesn't have to. I think these guys should get paid what they're worth. Don't get me wrong. But I think he has incentive to do that so that they will spend a little bit more money on the line. And he tells them, look, I'll take 35 or 30 so that you guys can anchor my line and get me down to 3 sacks a game instead of 9. If you fuck this up, I'm going to take your ass to the cleaners when we're back at the table.
And he's young enough to do it too. That's the thing.
And he is, and he won't hesitate. He is that fucking savage.
And
so
I walk in there in a mate coat too, Seven. Just fucking he'll walk in there in a fucking mate coat with no shirt on underneath it. Just fucking excuse me. We talked about this.
There is a savagery and confidence to the way that he carries himself that the NFL has not truly seen. And I'm going to drop a name here, and you guys are going to think about it for a second and then realize that I'm right. But the last person in the league that truly held themselves in a similar fashion to Joe Burrow was Staubach.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying play on the field. I'm just saying the way that they carry themselves.
The way he carried himself.
That's big Roger Staubach energy if you look at him.
Yeah.
Brett Favre.
Early Brett Favre as well. Yeah, absolutely.
So
I think that it's big, very, very big dick energy. And it's not necessarily that it's a big penis dick, it's a big attitude dick.
Yeah.
Okay. Wait a minute. Hey, hold up now. Let's not give Brett Favre too much credit. This is the man in his later years never wanted to go to training camp because you always was asking yourself, he gonna come back and play. He makes his decision after training camp on his teams.
Big dick energy.
Minnesota.
Big dick energy.
Minnesota, and the Jets. He just waited, and then when training camp was over, oh, here I am. I'm ready to play.
Big energy.
Big dick energy, Will. We've actually seen Brett Favre's dick. We've actually seen it. Will, you haven't seen Brett Favre's dick?
And
Have you not seen Brett Favre's dick?
And I'm not interested in seeing it either.
You haven't seen the text message? I didn't want to see it. It just came up on my screen. Just like it did to that girl that he sent it to.
God damn it.
Nobody wanted to, Will. They just got forced to.
That's the thing about unsolicited dick pics, Will. You don't want to see them. Have you ever received an unsolicited dick pic, Will?
No.
It changes your perspective because I have. I was very unhappy about my experience.
Yeah, it was. I mean, and imagine just like I've literally talked to women, and I think this is more common than we think, who get them all the time. Like literally, dude, all the time. It's just constant.
Yeah,
and I was like,
public service announcement. They don't want to see your dick, even in person. That's the entire reason why sex with the lights off is the more common thing. Women don't want to see your dick. Okay,
I love how that's just like the first thing they do too. It's like, hello, dick pic. Just drop like just 0 to 100. It's like 0 to 100.
Like, hello.
Yeah. How does that?
She looked in my general direction. Show her your penis. No, that's not how it works.
Psychologically, yeah. How's that play psychologically down the line if you ever actually get in a relationship with that woman? How's that? You know what I'm saying? Like, really? How's that play psychologically? I love how Will's just playing the cricket still. Brett Favre, though, Will. Let's just big dick energy, all right? It's that's a confirmed one. Just came up on my screen, bro. I did not ask for it.
Well, thank you, Seven. Thank you. You used a real one for all I care. Thank you.
I only have for the corner. I only have that one. I need somebody to send me a file of the red one so I can put it in there.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Good God.
Link the whole.
KW said he's going to turn into Family Guy. Oh my goodness. All right, real quick. He has it. I don't think he's done it yet. But and I've already said mine, but I got another one on deck if I gotta go. Dig of the week. Dan, take it away.
Oh fuck. 2 consecutive weeks, man. It's gonna be Scott Frost, Nebraska's head coach. I'm gonna have to do it. Like, dude,
here's the thing. Mina Kimes said she would take the job, bro. You gotta start kissing up to Mina Kimes because that could be your best shot. That could be.
Mina's a baddie.
Just imagine.
She's a baddie too.
Mina could probably fucking motivate at least. I mean, this like
she
dude,
can strip motivate.
Like it was
Come
I mean,
on
they
now.
won by like 18. They won by like 18 points, and it was disappointing. Like they played a Division II school who's gonna roll a lot of the FCS, but like at the same time, like you can't like they were in Lincoln. Oh, here actually, you know what? I have a different dick of the week.
To
every Karen in the United States who thought it was okay to go to Dollar Tree and get 16 balloons for little Timmy's fucking birthday party filled with helium, just so some fucking little kid could go over and sit on it and pop it at a fucking birthday party and nobody gave a shit about. There's a helium shortage in the United States now. Not a joke. There's a fucking global helium shortage, apparently. And it's all because of these Karens who think it's okay to go in and have the employees of Dollar Tree, while there's a line 8 people long, fill up individually a bunch of balloons that are in the shape of Captain America. And when they do, they're just pointless. They just go out. And
yes, she is.
She actually knows her sports.
And she's better than Molly. Yes, she is.
But that's
absolutely
to those Karens who created a helium shortage because there's a Nebraska tradition, 387th consecutive sellout at Lincoln Memorial Stadium, by the way. Think about that for a second. 387 games.
Yes.
Consecutive sold out. But they used to release balloons after every touchdown, right? Like they would release red and white balloons, and they don't do it anymore. So a couple of people snuck them in, but like Trev Alberts, the athletic director, was like, no, we can't do it because there's a global helium shortage. So to all of those Karens who are keeping people from releasing balloons and keeping me from inhaling helium to get high off of, Karens, you are the dick. And to change my voice to a cool voice, you're the dick of the week, Karens. And Scott Frost.
My first dick of the week is going to be all Nebraska fans for not really considering the environmental impact of releasing balloons every fucking touchdown. Now, I know it's Nebraska, so touchdowns are few and far between, but you still have to think of the environment, including the birds, when you do that shit.
Yes.
It's been going on for like 50 years, by the way, and we've scored a lot of touchdowns over the years. So, I mean, it is just, and it's only the first touchdown. Like, they don't do it every fucking touchdown. They release, but there's probably like 30,000 of them. Yes. So a lot of, like Ravens probably died with a Nebraska red balloon over their face. Maybe. But that's what, like we're humans. That's what we do. We fucking don't give a shit about stuff and we destroy it. That's what we do.
Peter, don't hold that against us, please.
Okay.
It wasn't intentional.
I can't believe I have to defend my arch nemesis here, but Tony La Russa is out indefinitely because of some health issues. Started having heart issues. Was doing pregame interviews, was fine. And right before the game, they announced that he was going to be out. The next day, they announced he was out indefinitely, coming to Arizona to get some testing. He's having some heart issues. There's a real chance, based on the timeline of events and how quick he went from fine to gone and in Arizona getting cardiac tests, that man had a heart attack.
Good. Yeah.
Now, I make jokes
in the dugout
about in the dugout or in the clubhouse. I make jokes a lot because I do not think he's a good coach. But the last thing that I would ever do is wish negative things. But there were people that were happy that Tony La Russa was out with health issues.
Oh,
fuck you. That's super shitty.
Yeah.
Like, have some fucking class. Right. Don't get me wrong. Again, I think he should be promoted to fan, as we'll call it. But that's just fucked.
Right.
Don't be a piece of shit.
It is.
We don't ever sit here and go, hey, I fucking don't like this guy as a basketball player or a coach, and go, I wish he would fucking die. Like, right. And be serious about it. Like, that's not here. Like, we just wish that he wouldn't have that job anymore. There's not actual like, we don't wish anybody to die.
Yeah.
I mean, because that dude is still some kid's grandpa. That kid is still somebody's dad, still somebody's husband. Like, yeah. Do you think people would you like it if people were cheering on your health issues because you suck at your job?
Right.
Go fuck yourself.
Will, I'm going to also point out the best way to cover up if you have a voodoo doll of Tony La Russa and you caused a heart attack would be to defend Tony La Russa on this show. So, I mean, let's not take it at face value, okay?
Damn.
I I do not have a voodoo doll of Tony La Russa.
At least down at his home.
That I can find.
That I can
In the woods.
Hey, I do have another dig of the week. Real quick, dig of the week. My team, the New Orleans Saints, because on cut day, not only did you keep Tre'Quan Smith, who is the worst receiver in all of football, you also kept damn motherfucking Sorensen. If you motherfuckers don't get rid of damn motherfucking Sorensen,
he's going to be your defensive captain, buddy. He's going to be your defensive captain.
On the last
embrace the Sorensen.
On the last cut day for the New Orleans Saints, he walked past the coach's room and went to the window, and he just held up the pictures that he has. It's probably something of tell. He just went and shoved it to the window, and he was like, "Remember?" And they were like, "Yes, yes, sir."
Remember this. And they're saying they kept Tre'Quan because they like the way Tre'Quan Smith blocks. So what? He's a freaking receiver.
Yeah, receivers don't get. That's not why you keep a receiver on your team.
That's why you keep a receiver,
especially now.
Everything that he's got the speed, he's got the size, but everything that hits his hand, doop.
Matthew Slater,
doop. Oh, times two.
If you're out there blocking.
You're going to get more out of switching him to being a corner or a safety or working in the secondary than you will as a receiver. Honestly.
Play him on special teams.
And that's what you put him on special teams for a year while he works behind the scenes with the defensive coaches, learning how to work as a corner or safety, whichever is going to be more appropriate for his size, because I can't remember how big he is. I think for him, it would probably be a corner would be the better option, either corner or maybe a middle linebacker, but I think he's a little too scrawny for that. But you switch him, you convert him to being a defensive player. That's how you get anything out of him.
Yeah.
Well, Seven, to be in his defense though, you're either in football, what I've learned is you're either an offensive player or you're a defensive player. And if you're playing on the wrong side of the ball in the NFL, you have to be specialized to like you have a mentality, especially as established as Tre'Quan Smith is in the NFL. His mentality is offensively, and he's not. I mean, very few guys are going to be able to A, make that transition, or B, be willing to do it, because it's just a mentality. I don't think he's a dog like that, honestly.
If he wants to be able to stay in the NFL,
that's what Cordell Patterson did last year.
Right.
Because it's the Saints covering for him can only last for so long.
Yep.
And that's my point is
he's so stupid talented, Will, that they're like, what is that what you're like confused about? Because I am too. Like, I mean, with
Tre'Quan, like I say, he's got the speed, he's got the size. He's
a cool name.
Prototypical, but when the ball comes anywhere near his hands, doop, drops. This disappointment. And I don't know why he's still on the team, but because you got Michael Thomas coming back, you got Jarvis Landry, you got Marquez Callaway. You have receivers on this team that can get the job done. And Tre'Quan went to Atlanta during the offseason. The Atlanta Falcons, as bad as they need receivers, did not sign this man. If the Atlanta Falcons don't sign you, what does that tell you? What does that say about you? When the Falcons, as receiver needy as they are, don't sign you, what does that say?
We used to call those Da Vinci hands. We used to call those Da Vinci hands, Will. They're just that's how they're stuck all the time.
Stuck.
They're made of stone.
Can't catch. I don't care about your blocking. Hines Ward was probably one of the greatest blocking receivers, but he caught touchdowns.
Dog.
Straight dog.
And that was also like in the early 2000s when a game was a little different. There's not a lot of receivers out there just fucking, just going straight, running the ball 70% of the game and just blocking downfield. I mean, there's not a whole. It's not happening.
Not nowadays.
Today's NFL is more about receiving than running.
Yep.
Oh, sure.
Today's game. This is the heyday of the receiving era in the NFL. And
air raid.
If you are a receiver who can't catch the ball, you are either should be a safety or a corner, and B, playing the wrong fucking position in general.
Which in the NFL, you're probably not going to be playing.
Exactly. You can't be a competitive team in this league anymore unless you have a solid receiving core. Kansas City was able to bolster their position with addition by subtraction. Getting rid of Tyreek freed up their ability to completely overhaul their game plan. And so now, even though they don't have a big name between Juju, MVS, Sky Moore, and the other receivers in that room, Kansas City is going to stay competitive, because even if they're not going to be able to throw a 60-yard bomb to Tyreek, between their receiving core, they can dink and dunk down the field, and they are going to win games.
Plus, this time Mecole Hardman too. So
if they still have Mecole Hardman, who's their speed, they can use him out of the backfield in the Deebo Samuel-esque package. The when you look at the Bucs, the Bucs this year, a lot more uncertainty because a little less clarity with their receivers and a little less clarity on production. Yes, you've still got Thomas Edward Patrick Brady II, as Skip likes to say.
Is the second or the second? I thought
American.
Yeah.
Brady can only do so much. And Aaron Rodgers, we give him a lot of shit. But when his receiving room is a problem, we hear about it. Why? Because Aaron Rodgers knows that you need to have a solid receiver room to be competitive in the NFL in today's game.
They better hope Lazard's that guy.
To your point about Kansas City, though, Seven, that actually, Patrick Mahomes is more suited to spread the ball around. That's how he was when he won the MVP. That's how he was when he won the Super Bowl. And then it started to become the Tyreek Hill show a little bit. And it was almost like they were forcing it to Tyreek Hill, almost like when Randy Moss and those Mike Tice offenses, like Mike Tice said, there's a Randy rule. We have to throw to Randy Moss at least every possession and at least 10 times a game. Those offenses started to get bogged down by the fact that they had to go to him. And Dante Culpepper was looking at him every play, when it's almost like, think about if you're playing Madden. If you just drop back and everybody's an option, you're better at playing Madden because they're, you know what I'm saying? Honestly, you're better at playing. I'm not saying that's playing in the NFL, but when you can just go to anybody on your receiving corner, you're not trying to force it to a guy. When you start forcing it to a guy, that's when your offense becomes one dimensional, and it did kind of last year for Kansas City. So I think they're actually probably going to score more points. I think they're probably going to score more points. Andy Reid's a fucking mad scientist. He'll figure some shit out. They'll throw some inside shovel, reverse pass, 86 flicker, fucking whatever the hell, and they'll get it done.
All three of their running backs are pass catchers. CEH, Ronald Jones, Jared McKinnon. All three of them are pass catchers.
Jared McKinnon is a fucking dog, dude. That guy's
he is great young talent.
So, I believe he'll figure it out. I believe and you got Travis Kelce too. So you got to respect Kelce from the tight end spot. So I think they'll be fine. All right. Anything else? Seven, what you guys got coming up on Sports Report After Dark?
Sports Report After Dark this week. Actually, you're going to be with us. We're going to talk about some stuff and the differences in how people see eccentric behavior from white athletes versus athletes of color. Probably have a couple of things that we'll talk about. Don't forget, you can check out the third season of First Generation Dad through a playlist called 30 Reasons to Live. I will post a link to that playlist in the comments. Definitely check it out. I am, a great thing to help with mental health. Share it with people that are struggling with themselves as well. We'd love to hear your feedback on that. And then Sunday night, winter meetings. Will's going to be joining me for that as well. Probably have a couple other guests from the new sports page that I'm writing for as we inch towards the end of the season.
Dan, you got anything in particular coming up, my friend?
Do you guys think that I should just start doing the Pat McAfee thing and standing up during the podcast the whole time? Standing and just so we can get some movement. I think we should all three do it. Maybe we all stand and we can get some good movement.
Space for that.
You know what I'm saying?
Me neither. Me neither. I ain't got no standing desk. Not right now.
Stand up where you're at right now.
I got no standing desk.
Stand up. Raise your fucking microphone up a little bit, and we'll get some blood flowing while we're doing it. Maybe we'll dance a little bit. No?
Oh,
all right.
Goodness.
No.
Also, free Fernando. Fernando Tatis, you don't have to be like your father. You can be a good player without the juice, buddy. I think you should definitely start taking the juice. Just don't get caught.
Yeah, that's the key.
Next time it's 162, bro, and then you're pretty much.
That's the key. Don't get caught.
If your hemorrhoids hurt, stand up for a bit. There you go. I think Will's the only one that's old enough to have hemorrhoid problems at this point.
And
although Dan was raised around a bunch of Catholics, so maybe.
And I'm lucky that I don't. And don't forget this episode of the Sports Report has been brought to you by Walmart and Trailer Parks. Definitely go visit your local Walmart today.
Save money, live better, motherfuckers.
That's right.
my tour site is walmarttrailerparkceo.org. I'll be in Poughkeepsie on Thursday. I'll be in.
Oh my goodness! If there's nothing else, I want to say thank you to everybody who came out for the Sports Report this week. We'll see you guys here again next week, right here, 10 p.m. Eastern, right here on Pinfall Streams. Everybody have a great week and take care.
Other one.
Driveway is a nice range, 'cause I've gone through the climb, I invite pain. You'll never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, it's belief. They'll deceive with the negativity, but I just slide right by that energy. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never ran, said no, man, I still go, go, go.